Are you a pregnant mother? Expecting a soon-to-be little? Well, according to myth, you shouldn't get sick, or else your baby's brain may just be... But hold on, where did that myth come from? New mothers are always looking for ways to keep healthy. They want their baby to be smart, loving, kind, and always in good health. But sometimes, these messages of health can be mixed in with a couple of scares. Take this article published by Romper in 2018. This reported a new study on fetal development published by the Journal of Neuroscience. According to Romper's report, pregnant mothers should avoid getting sick so that they don't hurt their developing baby's brain. Romper's very reliable sources included doing the following recommendations. Parents-to-be should eat foods that can fight off the flu and other illnesses, according to Scheinost. That means a diet rich in whole foods such as fresh garlic, green leafy vegetables, and fresh citrus, as well.
Drinking lots and lots of water. Experts who spoke to Scheinost also recommended eating a diet high in protein, like chicken, pork, egg, and cottage cheese, and fatty acids, thick nuts, seeds, and flaxseed oil. Stay away from fried and greasy foods, of course.
Well, if you do the following, your baby will be fine. But do you really have to do all this just to make sure your baby is healthy? Well, according to Romper's analysis, maternal immune activation can affect your baby's brain. But what does that exactly mean?
Maternal immune activation, or MIA, means during pregnancy, her immune system is activated in response to a trigger. This trigger can be anything from infection, stress, poor physical health, and inflammation as a response to the environment. According to the actual paper published in the journal Neuroscience by Spann et al., some MIA may affect your baby's brain during their development. But how much and to who does this apply to?
The initial study was conducted on young adolescent women ages 15 to 19. This was chosen as the immune activation to be studied was caused by psychosocial stressors, meaning that because they were young mothers, they were likely to have an activated immune system and inflammation. The study took young pregnant mothers and measured their levels of immune activation through detection of certain proteins in the blood. They also looked at the brain connectivities of their babies after birth and performed cognitive testing 14 months post-birth. Through their findings, they found that MIA was directly related to connectivity of something known as a Salience network, which is important for us to decide where we direct our attention to. Altered interactions have been linked to the development of abnormal cognition and perception in several psychiatric disorders. However, after testing at 14 months, there was no significant results that showed that the connectivity in this pathway affected the cognition of children. In simple terms, MIA did not directly have an impact on cognition.
Although there were no significant correlations, some evidence still did indicate that maternal immune activation can slow fetal development of the autonomic nervous system, which controls the basic body functions we don't think about, like heartbeat and breathing. Researchers believe it may be linked to developmental outcomes. On the other hand, several other preclinical studies have also reported adaptive or resilience responses associated with MIA, meaning that some babies have a less chance of having depressive-like behaviors in adulthood. Ultimately, there is a lot of research that still needs to go into this field.
So what does all this mean for you and your baby? Well, first off, your baby's brain is not fried. There were a lot of limitations to this study. First, this looked at young mothers and might not be applicable to everybody. Even more so, the type of immune activation they studied was also by psychosocial stress and not other forms like infection. Even more, they didn't even look into whether MIA was acute or chronic. Did some of the girls already have elevated immune systems, or was it because of their pregnancy? Most importantly, this study is not definitive. Just because you are sick, it does not mean that there will automatically, for certain, 1,000% be an effect on your baby's brain. Another paper published in Science by Estes et al. Mentioned that in humans, most maternal infections do not lead to psychiatric disorders. It may be, though, that exposure to more than one risk factor may be required for disease induction, and that MIA appears to act like a disease primer, making children more susceptible to certain diseases. In summary, the common cold and other common sicknesses will not affect your unborn child. However, you should be careful of other infections that have known implications like the Zika virus.
So to all the expecting mothers out there, a sneeze here and there is very unlikely to cause long-term damage. The most important thing is that you take care of your own health for the sake of your child in all ways.
Get rest,
Eat well,
stay hydrated,
and active.
but maybe don't sneeze on your baby.